let's ask once again, what is Vedanta? What knowledge? Not all knowledge. What knowledge? There is a text which has been used for the past 600 years or so to introduce novices to Vedanta, the study of classical Advaita Vedanta. It's called Vedanta Sara. Revered Maharaj was telling me how, when he was a novice, he studied the Vedanta Sara in our training center in our main monastery in India. And I studied it too, that book. And there, the first lesson we learned about Vedanta, what is the definition of Vedanta? We were required to memorize it. And the definition is this: Vedanta nama Upanishad pramanam. It is in the Vedanta Sara, that textbook. What is Vedanta? It is the source of spiritual knowledge called the Upanishads. So Vedanta is basically, the most accurate technical definition of Vedanta would be the texts called the Upanishads. The knowledge you get from the texts called the Upanishads is Vedanta. In a secondary sense, the texts themselves are called Vedanta. So in a primary sense, the spiritual knowledge that we get from the Upanishads is Vedanta. In a secondary sense, the texts themselves, Vedanta, Upanishad Pramanam. Not just the Upanishads, but more popularly, all over the world, if there is one text that is associated with Hinduism, it is the Bhagavad Gita. And Sri Krishna teaches Arjuna there, and many people do not know. What he teaches there is the Upanishads. If you have studied the Upanishads, sometimes you will find almost the exact verse, almost word for word, Krishna repeats to Arjuna. So no question of plagiarism in those days. And that was expected. That was expected, that a master would base his or her teachings on the Upanishads. So the Bhagavad Gita is basically the essence of the teachings of the Upanishads. And it is considered a part of the canonical texts of the Vedanta. So Bhagavad Gita. And there is one more text, not a popular text, in fact quite the contrary, called the Brahma Sutras, composed by Vyasa. These are aphorisms, very cryptic, short Sanskrit texts, which deal with the various philosophical questions arising from the Upanishads. The Upanishads are poetic, are mystical. And the questions which arise, when you read all the Upanishads together, you'll have many questions. Those questions are dealt with in a logical, rational fashion in the Brahma Sutras. So these three, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Brahma Sutras, are together called the triple canon or the triple foundation of Vedanta, Prasthanatraya. The Upanishads are called Shruti Prasthana because they come from the Vedas. The Gita is called Smriti Prasthana because it comes from the Mahabharata. And the Brahma Sutra is called Nyaya Prasthana in the sense of the logical foundation of Vedanta. And these Brahma Sutras were the foundation for the various schools of Vedanta. Great spiritual masters, philosophers and spiritual masters who came, Shankara and others after him, they wrote commentaries explaining the Brahma Sutras, which are very cryptic, very difficult, obscure to understand. And they wrote these Sanskrit commentaries, and these commentaries became the foundation of the schools of Vedanta. Shankara's commentary on the Brahma Sutra is the foundation of Advaita Vedanta, non-dual Vedanta. Ramanuja's commentary on the Brahma Sutras, the Sri Bhashyam, is the foundation of qualified monism, Vishishtadvaita Vedanta. Madhva's commentary on the Brahma Sutras is the foundation of dualistic Vedanta, Dvaita Vedanta. Nimbarka's commentary is the foundation of Dvaitadvaita Vedanta. The Vallabha's commentary is the foundation of Shuddhadvaita Vedanta, and so on. So the different schools of Vedanta are based on commentaries on the Brahma Sutra. So that's another answer we get when you ask this question, what is Vedanta? Vedanta, the Upanishads, and the Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita, and the commentarial tradition. So that's the textual foundation of Vedanta.